I was raised with my mom, and she's a music lover like yourself. She just adores music. It's my whole mother's family adores music. They like music more than I like music. Um, and so she raised me with the Beatles and Jim Croce and like really good stuff. And we're listening to what was it called? We're listening to Jethro Tull, Stand Up. I think that's their first album.
Yes.
Yeah, and
God.
a New Day Yesterday was playing, and I just kept turning the song up more and more and more and more, and I was imagining myself performing it at my school
Whoa.
with some of my friends as in my band, and I just had this really grandiose idea that maybe I could do something like this. So it was that song. We were coming home from dinner from somewhere, God knows where.
Hey, very cool. That was going to be my next question is kind of what music filled the house growing up, but Jethro Tull, the Beatles, that's
Yeah, I grew up with the good stuff. I didn't have like a cool mom. She wasn't listening to Rat and Slayer and like all the 80s stuff that was cool. She was still stuck in the music that she liked as a kid. There was a radio station called I don't remember the radio station, but it was Randy and Spiff in the mornings, and they played all kinds of bubblegum 60s. They play R&B from the 60s, a lot of fuck Sam Cooke,
yeah, yeah.
like all kinds of good stuff, like
Yeah.
the Animals. So that was a huge thing for me. And then the first time I ever heard Teen Spirit, I was like 8 or 9, and stopped in my tracks. Like literally just stopped in my tracks and was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
And so yeah, I love music. I love music. I don't consume it as much as I used to, but yeah, I was raised in a musical house. Band called Young Orchids, and we were kind of spinning out and not really talking anymore, and it was all falling apart. So I started making a solo album. My friend had a tape machine, and I'm proficient enough to all the instruments to where I can record myself. And so the first album is, well, all the MammaBear albums are pretty much all me, but the first album was as a challenge, as I had never done all the instrumentations on a whole album before. Hard to forget
Right.
or remember, right? Like everyone knows the term Mama Bear,
Yep.
and if you speak English.
Yep.
So, and then also because my music is like, I consider it like R&B punk kind of stuff, like kind of folky, kind of rockin'.
Yeah.
Like I thought it'd be ironic, you know. It's like I could go with like the Blisters or something right on the nose, or I could be Mama Bear and make it kind of ironic. And I think the band name worked against me more than it helped, looking back. And I wouldn't use the word regret, but I might rethink it if I was 13 years ago right now. I would have just called it Kyle Gordon.
The truth is, I've listened to everything from Birds of Paradise to Free Radical and She Chose Me, your new solo single. So I would have you on the phone for 2 hours talking music if I could, but I'm gonna just try to run down all the overall
Sure.
favorites. So starting, gonna go back a little bit, 2013, Birds of Paradise, Volume 1.
Not being able to stop something that you love and not even wanting to stop it.
Okay.
Like that's the metaphor for like green light stays green. Like If it feels good, just do it. But it's also about just addiction. That's how I looked
Yeah.
at Green Light.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a
It's so beautiful. I love it. Sometimes the chords and the melody will just put me in a space, and I'm like, I love where this is taking me. Oh,
That I think that's really cool. I feel the same exact way about music. My mom was always like that too. And yeah, I guess that just means like we're really feeling it, you know?
I love you to death. That song, it sounds like everybody playing is rooted in each other's strength.
Well, that album I made by myself. Like
No way.
I tracked all the instruments myself.
No way.
Yeah, I did all that. That album is there's one keyboard part on the third song that my friend did,
Mm-hmm.
but I did everything else. Same with Chocolate and same with Free Radical has other players on it, but the first two albums, Chocolate and Volume 1 are 100% me. Like, and that's another thing about MammaBear the project is
Right.
it's misleading, you know.
Right.
Like I said, I should have called it Kyle Gordon
Right.
because I get that asked that all the time, like,
Oh God.
oh, who's in the band? I'm like, well, no one really.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
actually that and Green Light have pretty much been in every MammaBear show for like 12 years because they're fun and different, you know.
Yeah.
And I Love You to Death is about the movie I Love You to Death, starring River Phoenix and
Oh,
what's her
okay.
name? You know that movie with
Yes, yes.
not Kevin Costner, Kevin Kline, or it's about that movie. In fact, there's a rant at the end where I'm like bitching at River Phoenix for dying.
You'll never hear me say something stands in our way.
What I like about the MammaBear project is that it never took itself too seriously. Mainly, it's a like kind of like a self-deprecating joke, which I always find to be way funnier than or endearing than cool guy, cool metal guy, cool punk guy, you know, guy in uniform rock is what I call it. You know what I'm saying?
No,
And
I watched
it's
the video for Anthem of the Damned, and I felt like I genuinely had crashed the coolest inner circle, in
oh, is
town.
it
So
the live one?
yeah, yeah. I was like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? Like I am the fly on the wall, and I dig it.
No, those are some great dudes. The guy playing lead guitar, his name is Ben, and he and I have been to the UK a few times together.
Hmm.
He's a total nut, and whenever he and I get together, there's just chaos, and it's blurry and awesome. But like, and then the guy playing drums, his name's Talk. He was the guy recording us. That was his studio. And then the dude playing bass is Pete D, and I highly recommend you check out Pete D.
Okay.
By the way, I just turned you on to your new favorite artist. He used to be in a band called Gringo Starr, and Gringo Starr is still touring. They're in Italy right now. They're from Atlanta, and they're a very cool band as well. But Pete D left Gringo Starr about 15 years ago and been doing his own solo stuff, and it is mesmerizing. know, and I can point you in some directions that'll blow your mind. Like, I know so many talented. I feel like lucky. That's one thing I love about music and this life I chose is I am so blessed to just meet and surround myself with incredibly talented people.
Yeah.
And that's just, for me, like, that's money, you know, that's a life worth living. So I'm thankful and to champion them, you know, because it feels really good to tell people about good stuff.
No,
I
I
love
know.
that.
That's the rewarding part. Like
I love it.
it's if two people click play, then that's it.
That's
You've
right.
succeeded for the day.
That's right. I agree. I agree.
Songscape just it actually made me cry. So I don't know if I'm mad at you or what because I don't think there's any lyrics in it.
No.
So birds must have that effect on. What was going through your mind when that track was born, and what's your favorite place out in nature to escape?
Oh, okay. Well, my wife and I love the beach. And we love mountains, so we like to escape anywhere where it can just be like kind of her and I doing what we want to do.
Yeah.
Because we're like soulmates. So we travel a lot together. But I was sitting in my uncle's yard and there were all these birds chirping, and so I just recorded on my phone, and that's the sound of the birds in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then my mom gave me this mandolin. And so I kind of banged out a melody on that. And what I'm proud about with Chocolate is I think of it as like kind of an orchestral album. And I really wanted to make something bigger than just a garage rock album, which I had achieved with the first album.
Right.
Because I don't like to repeat myself.
Right.
But
you have
I mean,
nothing
yeah.
I've listened to sounds like it's repeat. So yes, mission achieved. You haven't.
Yeah, that's the goal, you know, is to just keep turning over stones until you're dead, you know.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, so that one was really fun. It came out really pretty. I found some like anti-Nazi speech on the internet, so we tacked that on at the end.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like, and it's because I love history. I like history more than I like music.
No,
So
I
it's
think
fun to,
that's what made me cry is the mixture of the recordings, like the just how old they sounded and the birds and everything, and I was just like, I don't know what's happening to my mind, but keep cruise control. I could almost picture driving through Georgia, like hitting that cruise control button after I've gotten, I've passed Atlanta, now I'm on my way to Marietta, or I've passed
right.
Atlanta, now I'm on my way to Macon.
Yeah.
What were you mentally cruising away from when you made that?
Cruise control is about the world ending and people still ordering pizza and playing Xbox.
Yes.
Not worrying about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what cruise control is about. It's about, yeah, I even say that some sugar water and a beat to keep the groove, like like I said, as long as the pizza is still being delivered, there won't be any kind of significant change. And I'm not looking for that. I'm not this guy like vitriolically screaming, we need revolution. I'm beyond all that shit. I'm comfortable in 40 now. So yeah. I'm not like really banging the drum in that respect, but it was more just a commentary. Right. It's just an eye-opening commentary on how good we have it. Yeah. And how that can be dangerous, and how it's also, we should be thankful. I don't know, it's mixed message.
Right.
But I felt like cruise control was an adequate metaphor with a thought, We
rode away to desert lands. We gathered souls, the blood across got it wrong. Beast will thrive, history's alive. Cruise control, nobody's fool. Some sugar water and a beat to keep the glue. Let all be down, let there be peace. I don't mean far away, but here for you and me.
Okay, so Ice Queen, the guitar is so dirty and beautiful.
That one was a lot of fun. I have a very good friend named Chris Sampson who recorded Chocolate, and we were in a band like 20 years ago when we were young, and he had this guitar lick, and it's the Ice Queen guitar lick, and he was playing at lightning speed. And so I went home and just slowed it way the hell down, and then wrote the melody, and then I came up with all the other stuff, and I was like, Chris, I'm taking your song. This is mine now. And he didn't have a problem with it. It was just chords anyway. So
Yeah.
Ice Queen is I'm super proud of Ice Queen. It's the turnaround is like some of the coolest rock and roll I've ever written. But I am super stoked. I'm proud of that song. That one makes it to a lot of the MammaBear set lists, and it is and it's actually about my friend Chris himself. He was at a show at Smith's Old Bar, and this girl really liked him, and she like kind of pushed him against the wall and gave him the crazy eyes. It was like, if you don't love me, I'll kill myself. And so like she like freaked him out. And so the song, I just wrote a song about a person, doesn't have to be a woman,
Right.
just completely unnerving you with their desire to be with you. And so Ice Queen is kind of that's what it's about.
You never said no, you never needed to. Nice queens sitting on that nice and go. Empty bottles flow, an open coaster roll. Ice cream sitting on that nice and go. Night of you, night of you. I need you more than you could know. Night of you, like it's you.
Okay.
It's a dark tint, but I'm really proud of it. I think of it as kind of like it's the closest thing to like what the hell's the name of that band? Iggy Pop. It's like the closest thing to Iggy Pop
It's
that I could have come up with.
I have to agree with that. It's dirty. That's the only way that I can describe it, and it's dirty beautiful.
Yeah,
It's really
I'm really proud of it. And in the middle, I tried to make the sound of a plane getting shot down, and that's why it's like, and then you hear an explosion, and the song comes back in.
a lot of bands that people will hear, and it's like, oh, I can, maybe they sound like this or they sound similar to this. I could reference the Strokes or the Hives in like a really roundabout way, but no.
Well, I appreciate that very much.
But,
I think both those bands are really great.
but how long did it take to finish My House? Like,
So My House was recorded with 7 other songs in one day. That was one song where this is the album where I introduced my first extracurricular musician, and his name is Darren Dodd, and he was with a band called Ponderosa. He plays with Courtney Love. He plays with Avril Lavigne and Pink.
okay.
And he's based out of Nashville now, but I've known him my whole life. And he's a drummer, and he is insanely good. And so I sent him the songs the night before we were recording. I had signed to a small punk label called Slush Fund.
Mm-hmm.
And so the guy that runs Slush Fund is also a lawyer, an entertainment lawyer. His name's David Prossi. Great guy. He's out of Atlanta. He's an old-fashioned dude. And so David and I had this idea to record an album together because he saw MammaBear play live, and he's like, what I don't like about what you're doing is your albums sound one way, but your shows are completely different. And you need to make an album that sounds like how your shows sound. Like, we need to embrace destruction. We need to embrace missed notes. We're going to do first take stuff. We're not going to seek perfection.
Right.
We're just going to make a very honest album. That's why I call it Say. We're just speaking our piece, and it's done.
No,
so
yeah, it's a declaration for sure.
It's the hardest album for me to listen to, because in fact, I haven't listened to Say in a long time, because I had the least amount of control over that album.
Okay.
I wasn't calling the shots on that album. I produced the songs, and I did all the bass and the guitars and all that stuff, but I didn't have an overall say on the final mix.
My house, my town, my sound, my cloud, my drown. You can see that I'm proud. No face like clay, all day, no pain. Started last age today. It all sounds the same, and no it's never changed. Without words and flames, you're finding love. So I cast you out to know the best of fun. Whose life's the fun? I'm no better. My time, my height, my rights, my pride, no sight, price, fire. Love seeing the ways in your way, she begging, it's a cry and shame. I know better, she loves me all, my southern drawl, my witty call, sweet bitters. And I thank you all, cause you're bitter dog, and I hope it all gets better.
Got it.
And his vocal, and one thing I disagree with Dave is I like some reverb on my voice. I think that's just me because I'm insecure. So he didn't put a lick of anything on my voice. So that's another reason why it's hard for me to listen to that album, because it's very honest, and it's like looking in a mirror after a long night. Like, it's not a great look, for me.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to listen to Say. But sometimes like My House came out, and it might have been the first take, it might have been the third take, who cares? It was done within the span of 15 minutes. And then he was confused on why I wanted him to change the drum line so early. And so I got a bass out, and I was showing him what I was going to do with the bass. And as soon as I did that, he's like, oh, I get it. Okay, cool. But I kind of think he was right. And I would have redone it a different way now. But that's impossible, and I'm not going to revise myself. Like, I'm not going to ever reopen these songs and re-record. You know what I mean? Like, that's not my goal.
Yeah. Madlands era, the live album after you got, well, I guess it's of the tour when you were in the UK. So it's a live.
It was recorded in Atlanta, but we had just been back 3 days. And we had been on tour for 2 weeks, and we were lean and mean. We had played some really excellent shows. It was probably the best MammaBear ever was. And so, we took 3 days off to just rest and get some sleep and sober up. And met back 3 days later and recorded in about 3 hours, recorded that whole thing. And my only regret is I should have taken my dress a little more seriously. I should have worn like a nice coat or something, because I don't believe in dressing like a certain way, but I like to look nice because I'm vain. And so I kind of wish I had spruced up a little bit for the shoot, but musically it's there, it's very honest. There's not one overdub. It is what you hear is what we did in the room, without a single overdub. Like, Talk wouldn't let me put anything on my voice, so it's actually, there's not a lot of reverb. But I'm about to actually release that album in a few days. It was never properly released on Spotify and all that. It was done on Bandcamp and SoundCloud. Yeah. But for technical reasons, I couldn't get it online, which have actually only 3 days ago been remedied. And so I'm going to release Red's Dead, Green Light, Anthem of the Damned as singles, one by one, and then I'll drop the whole album.
Dance all night, showdown in the morning sun. You're just my type, yeah, 'cause you're the cutest one. Look at you dance, that's what your body's for. Okay, alright.